it.
Hello out there, and thanks for joining us on political platform. The Supreme Court has given Governor Obaseki of Edo State victory in the Edo elections dispute, and that came resounding as now, as is expected, the governor will settle down without any distractions and begin to do the work, the road map that he has set out to follow in the 4 years of his mandate that was given to him. I've seen some aspects of the road, particularly the road construction in almost every nook and cranny of the state, the communities and everywhere. And somebody said this is very ambitious. Well, ambitious as ambitious as it is, the governor now is now opportune to settle down, do his work without having to go to court and assembly witnesses. So congratulations, Governor Obaseki of Edo State. The Independent National Electoral Commission has been served with the court papers, which has clearly now said that the status quo as it is presently be maintained. But I spoke with the Director of Publicity and Voter Education this morning, a lawyer, Osaze Oluwole Uzi, who said we are studying the papers. I said the electoral body will take a decision on the court paper served on it today or by tomorrow. You know, the Dino, senator from Kogi West, is under the court process, and he has gone to court to stop the process. And the PDP judgment is tomorrow. That landmark judgment that is expected is going to be tomorrow, and we are getting ready to receive it, just as Nigerians are getting ready to get that judgment. The political class, they are also waiting to have it. And whatever happens, we will be doing some bit of analysis of it this morning, the scenarios that probably will come up as a result of whatever happens, whichever way the pendulum will swing. We'll take a look at some of the sides on the program this morning. And we have my colleagues in the studio, and all of us are here. We have heard of some concerns that maybe 30 minutes is not enough for the program, and that it should be extended. And on top of it, we're also hearing that maybe the number of presenters are too many. And we have also emphasized in the course of our program here that the number of the presenters on this program make it possible for us to have all the diverse opinion and views that we will need to express on the program. The handling, the way we talk about it, giving each other the opportunity to express our views, we have managed to use the 30 minutes to galvanize all the ideas. Where one misses it, the other one gets it. It's a unique structure that we have, and it is a study for those who are studying mass communication and broadcasting to also take a look at the innovation that we have on the program, to have as many people as possible to air their views within this 30 minutes program. It has made it a robust program that everybody will listen to or watch on TV always, and we are happy to be in the forefront of developing this innovation in broadcasting that will get everybody to air their views and our opinion, and the praise we get and the kind of support we get from people is also dependent on the number and the variety of the views we express on the program. We don't have any apologies to it. If we need to adjust, we'll adjust it, but we need to really focus on getting ourselves to understand on the focus of the program and get everybody to participate in it. We have Mike Okiro, former Inspector General of our police, on the program this morning, and I will be telling us about his own definition of restructuring and what is he telling the northern youths, the southeastern youths, and those in the Niger Delta. Mike Okiro just launched a book on restructuring, and we are anchoring our continued discussion on the way forward for Nigeria on the issues around and getting everybody to participate in the program. And just to also let you know that we have we'll be getting our program tomorrow when we come on the former governor of Abia State, talking about Oji Uzo Kalu. He has also agreed to talk to us. But earlier, that is before tomorrow, this afternoon on AIT, the People's Power and Politics program, Oji Uzo Kalu will be with us to also tell us what he feels about the whole thing. So it's a robust, we are happy and delighted to be in a position to begin to galvanize this opinion. And we thank you for supporting us and for listening to us. Okiri Agbonsuremis, my name is Uju Eje, is on the program with me this morning. Uju, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Okiri.
And I also have Mustafa Mohammed on the program. Mustafa, welcome. And Ijoma Osamo is also right in here with me.
Thank you, Okiri.
And Dr. Amechi Anakwe is here.
Thank you, Hira. Have you read that book, The Day of the Jackal by Frederick Forsyth? It was a thriller. I read it as a young man. Yeah. And it appears we are waiting for the Day of the Jackal in Nigeria now.
I read the post and all those things.
Yes, the lion in the jungle, the king, out, and the jackals and the hyenas, the second level of administration in the jungle.
And they talk about the weak
ordinary animals, the weak ones that are protected by the king. That's the lion. But since the absence of the lion, the jackals and the hyenas are now praying and preying on the weaker animals, hoping that the lion will not be back. But Sheikh Husani has said that the weaker animals have been praying in a Facebook comment, and the jackals and the hyenas have been hoping that the lion will not be back. But the wife of the president has told us yesterday, yet another Facebook post, that the prayers of the lesser animals have been answered by God, and that the lion will soon be back. And when he comes back, he will drive away the hyenas and jackals away from his kingdom.
Adebayo Bodu is here. He knows the PDP more than some of us. He's been reporting the PDP long ago. Adebayo, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Hiria. Well, I think those Facebook posts yesterday, what we can take from it is the fact that there is a big power play within the presidency.
All right, let's go to our mailbox, political platform at yahoo.com. Let's see who is talking to us this morning.
Welcome to the mail segment. I am Ifeanyi Onwobi.
And I'm Amaka Okoro. Welcome.
We start with the mail from Michael Ibe, writes from Nasarawa State on capital allocations to MDAs. It reads, I saw the capital allocation to ministries, departments and agencies as released by the Ministry of Finance. For a country that says it wants to be ranked as a top industrial country by the year 2020, I think the allocations to education, industry, science and technology is grossly inadequate and does not reflect our desire to be ranked as an industrialized nation. I suggest the government should have a rethink.
And to in that line, Samson Enes in Abuja has this to say. I watched on AIT News the National Industrial Policy Committee meeting with the acting president, and I wish to make the following observations. Policy formulation is not a problem in Nigeria, but implementation. At least, we saw the gains of automotive policy that encouraged local assemblage of vehicles some 6 years ago. Today, that policy has been abandoned. Also, the non-power expected to drive the policy are in our technical colleges. They are without any assistance. The committee has nothing new to form than implementation of various policies already on ground. Let's stop wasting time. In the year 2035, petrol vehicles will be phased out. Are we thinking of alternatives?
So in that line as well, and on restructuring also, Benedict Chiedozie Ede from Osun State says, 2 days ago, I read from the papers that France will be banning the usage of petrol and diesel engines by 2040. That is 23 years from now. To have made that policy statement, it means they have kick-started the process. We do not know how many other countries may follow suit, or perhaps even earlier. The immediate fallout for a nation whose systems run on oil revenue are diverse. One is dwindling oil revenue in the interim, and by 2040, non-existent revenue from that sector. The attendant consequences are better imagined. Now, we are talking about feeding bottle federalism. Then it will be empty bottle federalism because there will be nothing to share. We do not pray to get there, but like Joe Odumake mentioned, that a time will come when they will hawk restructuring on the road and nobody will buy it. That is the beginning of the end. I think those who are against restructuring now are the real enemies of our corporate existence. The best time to have restructured was 1979. Another good time was 1999. The only available time is now. 23 years is not a long time in the life of a nation. Devolve powers. Let states or regions be productive in the areas of their strength and competence, adapting laws relevant to their peculiar environment in order to fast-track commerce. That is the way to easily diversify within the time window. Some of the fears nursed about restructuring will sort itself when we get there. It's either we'll restructure now or we'll rupture tomorrow. That's it on the middle segment. Do keep it coming to politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
Busted.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Thank you so much for remaining with us on the platform. Let's go straight away to our interview. Then we'll come and do the analysis. Now, let's have the former Inspector General of Police, Mike Okiro, who recently came up with a compendium of ideas, opinion, and what he thinks about the restructuring of Nigeria. Okiro is our guest.
My views as a small boy of what Nigeria is going to be have drastically changed. I was a kid, 1960, when I had independence. With our tiny legs, we trekked about 5 or 10 miles from our school for getting to school. We now trekked to the local council to wave bye-bye to the Union Jack. We are waving the miniature Nigerian flag of green, white, and green, and we are singing and dancing and jubilating.
In the hope that a nation has emerged.
hope that a nation of our dream has emerged. But on the contrary, what I see now is a different thing. At that time I'll tell you about, we were told that a northerner, a Hausa stock, stood the election in Enugu, which was Eastern Nigeria, capital of Eastern Nigeria, and won the election as the mayor. He ran 2 terms. At that time, where I grew up at Oguta, the chairman of the Oguta Customary Court, Alhaji Adajala, was a northerner. Look at the northerner coming.
You can actually
they had of people to talk about the culture and tradition of Igbo people.
You can stretch it to Azikiwe winning elections in the southwest.
Good. Even this one I'm talking about, the deputy was Urobo man. I'm sure maybe you're from that area.
From
Urobo.
the present Delta State.
It was a deputy to this Hausa man in an Igbo land. But what has happened today? Things have so changed. The views that theirs had as small boys of Nigeria.
Your generation that had this hope, you saw Nigeria in 1960 as young lads. Many people are blaming you for all the problems that you didn't stay when you grew up along the line. Something went wrong and you didn't take steps. Your generation and the generation before you are taking the blame for the problems.
Oh yes, our generation are taking blame. I quite suffer it. I was 16 years when the civil service, when the hostility broke up.
16 years.
16 years.
1966.
I was 16 years then. And what we went through, we have still not recovered from it. That is the time this problem started in Nigeria. The question is when, where, and how do you get it wrong?
Yes, that is the question. Where and now everybody appear to know that if you ask 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Nigerians, as many Nigerians as you want to have, they know the problems. They also know the solution. They will tell you this is the way forward. Why is it that we are not actually finding solutions in spite of the fact that everybody seem to have a solution to the problem?
Yeah, everybody seems to have a solution. Yeah, but the solution of Mr. A is different from the solution of Mr. B, different from the solution of Mr. C. If you have 100 Nigerians, how do you have 100 different solutions? At the end of the day, Mr. A may not agree with Mr. B. I think we shall come together and talk about Nigeria must move forward. Nigeria must be one.
Will restructuring solve the problem?
Of course, yes. You see, people don't understand this restructuring. And like I told you,
yes,
different people have different views, different opinions, different perceptions of what restructuring means.
What do you think should be the proper definition of restructuring?
The proper definition of restructuring is it's one, that Nigeria could unfortunate a system that make Nigeria one. Let that be unity of purpose. Let that be fairness, equity, and justice. People are feeling that there's no justice in Nigeria. That's why everybody talking about restructuring, talking about injustice, talking about a lot of things that either affect them as individuals, affect their sectorial.
Is it how to get to this to get to this restructuring that is the problem? How do we get there? Because everybody seems to agree that there should be devolution of power. They believe that the power is too much concentrated in the center. They also believe that the regions or the states will do better if they harness their resources, which is some amount of resource control. Everybody thinks that, for instance, the police should be devolved and that we can monitor and get crime. Is it how to go about this? How do you think we can? Do we go back to a conference? Do we have to dust up earlier resolution? Is it the function of the National Assembly? What do you think should be the step as we speak now that should be taken to get where we should go?
I think the National Assembly is one way forward too, because the National Assembly represents all sections of the country. When the National Assembly does it, a committee is formed cut across the entire country to look into these areas, to address the problems of the minorities, to address the problems of the majorities, to address the problems of every sector of society. That people at the end of the day will go home satisfied. Also, create jobs. Because some of these people are making this noise. I feel disenchanted.
So what do we need?
Feel disenchanted about the whole thing.
Yeah, because they don't have a job. They don't have. What should be changed from what we have now? Everybody know what we have now. What is it that must practically change in practical terms?
In practical terms, I think the physical restructuring.
Physical restructuring.
Very, very important. Because we will come to a situation where everybody sits down, crosses his legs, wait for the end of the month. When the money comes from oil, they go and share. Every state in this country has something to offer. Every state in the whole country can even live of this own. So if we come to fiscal restructuring, we have to think of the future, think of the future of their children, think of what to do to generate something for their own children instead of sitting down. And if you do that, it can be sure a lot of things will go on.
You were young, as a young lad, 16 years when the Civil War broke out. So you saw the Civil War and you have grown up, became the Inspector General of Police. You have all the knowledge about security control in Nigeria. Now, the youths who are clamoring in the southeast today, it is a Biafran agitation. In the north, they say get out. That's the word. How do we get everybody to see the language that you talked about in your book, that Nigeria can indeed be big if everybody is satisfied? How do we address these young people?
There should be a forum where they should be addressed. Maybe they realize that maybe the situation where they find themselves now, where we find ourselves, may not be anybody's making. Could be, I want to put the making in brackets.
Yeah,
because we have found ourselves where most of our youth are not working. Most of our even elders have nothing. Even pensioners are not being paid. So the problem cuts across the entire society, both the elderly and the young. So they should sit together and think, what is the way forward? As an individual, I may not have the recipe.
Yes.
Yeah, but if we sit together, talk. People
now,
they say two heads are better than a bad one. I'm a baby, I'm a bad head. So
now, if you have the privilege of speaking with the youths in the north, you have the privilege of speaking with the youths in the Niger Delta, and the privilege of speaking with the youths in the southeast, what will you tell them?
The youths in the north, a lot of them have no job, they're not even educated. We have to talk to them if it's a way of creating job for them, creating things they can do to keep them busy. Youth in the south.
But they are the one who are asking all the Igbos to go. Are they saying
that can't solve the problem.
Okay.
Asking Igbo to go cannot solve the problem. And the youth in the south also think they want to have their own country cannot solve the problem. Because Nigeria is great.
So what will you tell the youth in the southeast?
The southeast,
yes.
We tell them that the greatness of Nigeria depends on the size, the diversity, the unity in that diversity. We should work together. They cannot exist on their own.
Lastly, just before we go, sir, what will you tell people who say the southeastern elders, now including you, didn't work fast to keep persons like Nnamdi Kalu in check before they started to talk about dividing Nigeria? You didn't talk to them, and that you failed in your responsibility to call these younger elements together to tell them the story of the Civil War and why it is not necessary for anybody to be drumming up for war. They say the elders didn't talk to them early.
That was done. Unless you want to say all the elders to get together and tell him, if reading people see that when this was coming out at the braining age, some elders were talking to him.
Okay.
It's only what was saying. You wouldn't have expected 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million elders to come together in a hall and tell him. So we told him.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us time on the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's the former Inspector General of Police, Michael Kiro, talking to us on defining the structure, the way he sees it. Well, let's just before we wrap up now, quickly go to PDP. Adebayo Bodurin, we are expecting the judgment tomorrow at the Supreme Court. That judgment, whether say McCarthy-led caretaker committee is right, or that they are wrong and it is the Alimodu Sheriff contention that is correct. Which way forward, whichever way position we get?
Well, I think the way we can look at it is that it will put an end to the leadership squabbles, and if it will either work whichever way. It's either the members of the party will come together and agree, okay, let's put our differences aside, let's come together, united.
Now, let me ask Dr. Amechi, if Alimodu Sheriff wins this case tomorrow, what happens?
Well, someone like Olabode just says he'll quit politics. That's from his own perspective. He has said it. I'll quit politics.
There could be many Olabode.
There could be many of them. But alignments and realignments. If Alimodu Sheriff wins, that means the caretaker committee led by Ahmed McCarthy will look for an alternative platform. And they're already considering some alternatives.
We can see new parties emerging, some members of the PDP aligning and waiting and doing permutation. What do you think?
I think before now they were expecting that they will move to the new party, and most of them are waiting for the Supreme Court judgment. But what we saw a few weeks ago, the governors are already saying whichever way it goes, they are still going to remain PDP. If they have thought about this before,
I have heard Ayo Fayoshe very, very categorical that he cannot be in the same party with.
But the meeting, there was a meeting of the PDP governors about 2 weeks ago, and he was the one that spoke on behalf of the governor.
So he's recanted.
He said they will wait for the judgment. They will accept it the way it comes. No, Wike has not been part of them for a very long time. Yeah. He didn't attend the meeting. Okay. So the meetings of the governors a few weeks ago, they have said they will accept the judgment anyhow it comes.
But individually, at least 2 of the governors have said they cannot be in the same party.
Yes, that means they have alternative.
Yeah. Now, how do you see it?
I would like to look at it from 2 angles. Yes, those of them who feel so strongly about remaining in the same party may realign, like Amechi said. On the other hand, I like specifically what happened in Osun State. The spirit of oneness that gave them the victory of the senatorial election. You know, the one that brought up Adeleke.
But I hear that oneness is not real. That oneness was not real. It was propelled by the sacrifice.
But you see, if they look at the result that came out of that oneness, whether real or otherwise, it should give them an idea of what to do. That together they can still be as strong as the PDP was.
Now, Mustafa, the flow, the takeaway from the public takeaway, those who are not politicians will be, thank God, at least PDP can come. Whether it is under the McCarthy or it is under Alimodu Sheriff, we have a PDP that will play the opposition.
Okiria, the damage has already been done. It doesn't matter who wins, whether it's McCarthy or Alimodu Sheriff. It's like spilling a bowl of milk on the beach. You cannot scoop it. The truth of the matter is they have already lost out on the followers' confidence. And it takes the grace of God for the PDP to bounce back as it used to be some 10-15 years ago.
Now let's just quickly take the other one that we need to quickly talk about. The Independent National Electoral Commission. Let me begin from our eyes and our ears and the INEC. Why is INEC finding this order difficult? I saw the status quo order. Why is they finding it difficult to understand? Is it that because the problem is that the recall process is like a train set in motion for 90 days?
90 days.
90 days. And once it starts, it ought not to stop. Now, what options has the Independent National Electoral Commission? To go to court to ask for a variation?
You should know that INEC is a body set up by law. and they have legal team. As at yesterday when I saw the order, I called them. They said they are still studying it.
What's the difficulty in studying it?
They need to put their heads together, because that line, when I read the order, there's a particular line that is confusing.
Which
the
line
one that
is
says,
I have it here.
The one that says the two parties should maintain
the status quo. That is
as
the
at
order.
July 6. As at July 6. And INEC released a timetable July 3. So if you look at it, you begin to start asking yourself in a layman's language. Does it mean that, yes, the status quo is INEC has already started the process, let us continue with INEC, or INEC should just stop where they are? That is the confusing part of that.
The director of voter education and publicity, Uzi, told us there that in almost all the record processes INEC started, most of the people that were being recorded rushed to court. He also said that INEC succeeded in vacating whatever order they made. So INEC has an ample opportunity now to go to the appeal court or go back to that same court to try to vacate. And it could be done within a week.
The whole thing was very funny because at the beginning, you know, Dino Melai dismissed the whole thing. And when he rushed to court to stop the process, I was actually happy that what? He really realized the
damage was going to be done.
Yes.
Well, from my little knowledge of court proceedings as a reporter, I think when you say the status quo must be maintained, the status quo as it portrayed in that ex parte motion that was granted by the court implies that the status quo as maintains that Dino Melaye is still a senator, and the process must be stopped until the processes are completed in court.
Well, I think we have had a lot of Dr. Amechi, have had a lot of damage done to. When the lawyers will say if the rest is destroyed, then you cannot hold anything out in the pursuit when you are in court. The court will tell you, the court makes an order in vain. But it's clear. They said the status quo will be maintained, and Dino Melaye has interpreted the maintenance of the status quo to be that he's a senator and nothing should be done to remove him until his complaints in court ahead. When the Independent National Electoral Commission speaks this evening or tomorrow, we'll be getting the picture of what the situation is like. And just before we go, just let me remind you that you can subscribe and watch all our videos on YouTube. That is AIT political platform all around the world. Anywhere you are, you can watch the current edition that is on. And our radio is also streaming live. Ray Power, raypowerradio.com. You go to our website, or if you want to get it very quick and fast, just download the app from the Google Play, and you are able to listen to Ray Power, both political platform and other programs that are on the station anywhere you are around the world. For those who are in Abuja, you can watch at 6 p.m. On AIT Abuja, and you get the playback. Remember to drop us a line, political platform at yahoo.com. That is the route to reach us, and we are always, as usual, very delighted to share your views. On behalf of my colleagues, please do have a wonderful day ahead, and let's do it again when we come back tomorrow.
Busted.